In this video, we're going to be going over exterior angles of a polygon and how to solve for those. But it's first important to know what an exterior angle is. So an exterior angle is formed by extending the sides of a polygon. So basically over here you can see we have a regular pentagon, which means we have 5 sides. So how we get from this picture over here to this picture over here is just by extending each side. So this is one side of our shape and we can extend that, which gives us this exterior angle. We can extend this side of the shape to get this exterior angle. We can extend this side, we can extend this side, and we can extend that side. So obviously for different shapes it's going to look a little bit different. But for any polygon, whether it's regular or irregular, the sum of exterior angles is always 360 degrees. So again, remember, a regular shape, a regular polygon, has all sides and angles the same. So obviously, if it is a regular polygon, then all of the exterior angles are going to be the same. But if we have an irregular polygon, that's not always going to be the case. But what is always true, regular or irregular, the sum of those exterior angles are 360 degrees. So again, this is kind of a visual of what I was saying. So if a shape or if a polygon is regular, we know all of their exterior angles are going to be the same. But here is kind of a visual example of where your exterior angles are not all going to be the same. And this is the figure if you have an irregular polygon. Remember, for irregular polygons, the sides and angles do not have to be all congruent. So in this case, it might ask us, hey, like solve for x or solve for the measure of the largest exterior angle. We would have to use maybe our prior knowledge here to fill in some missing pieces, but then we're really using the fact that I know if I add up all of these exterior angles here, I know that I am going to get 360 degrees. Alright, so this is just a little bit of a helpful table that kind of sums up our knowledge of interior angles and exterior angles. So we're going to be going through some examples and we'll have this table and we'll figure out which part of the table that we need to actually use. So number one, what is the measure of one exterior angle of a regular octagon? So remember, it's super important to be able to identify the number of sides in a shape when we are given its name. So this is kind of like using the table from the previous video. But for an octagon, n, or our number of sides, we know is 8. So I know that I am going to use, we know it's a regular octagon, right? So that means all of these sides and angles are going to be congruent. So I can use this formula here, and I'm going to write the whole thing out, just like we did in the last video, because it helps us. If there are certain things we need to substitute, it kind of helps to see the entire thing written out. So one exterior angle equals 360 divided by the number of sides. So again, I'm not substituting in for the exterior angle because that's what we're solving for, but we would do 360 divided by 8. Which would give us that one exterior angle is 45 degrees. Wonderful. Alright, now for this next example, it says, if the measure of one exterior angle of a regular polygon is 24 degrees, what is the name of the polygon? So there might be questions like this where it's not so, hey, let me plug this in and here's my answer. We might have to do a couple of things before we actually get to our answer. So what I like to do is just figure out the formula we're using first, and then go from there. So it's giving us the measure of one exterior angle. So I know that we're using this formula right now. The formula of one exterior angle equals 360 over n. Now obviously I can substitute this 24 degrees. This is why I say to write the entire formula out, because clearly you can see that you can substitute this 24 in right here for this one exterior angle. So 24 equals 360 over n. Now I know I can solve for n. That's my only variable here. Now once I have my number of sides, I'll be able to actually classify or give the name of the polygon. So we multiply by n, 24n equals 360. And then we divide by 24, divide by 24. And that's going to give us n equals 15. Now, according to that table, there's not a name for a polygon with 15 sides, but this goes back to calling it an n-gon, right? When it's larger than, I believe, 12, you call it, so this would be a 15-gon, technically. 15-gon. Now, if we got like n equals 9 or n equals 8, we can use that table to help us. But when n or your number of sides is larger than a certain number, you just call it a 15-gon or a 30-gon or however many sides you have. All right, last but not least, if the sum of the interior angles is 540 degrees, what is the measure of one exterior angle? So again, these questions might not be so cut and dry of, hey, this is what you need to do, it's one step. They might take multiple steps before you can get to your answer. So take what you have, figure out the equation that you can use first. So I have the sum of interior angles. So I know that I can use this to help me solve for something, right? So sum of interior angles equals 180 times n minus 2, and I can substitute this 540 degrees in for the sum of my interior angles. So 540 equals 180 times n minus 2. Now from here, I know I can solve for the number of sides. And it wants the measure of one exterior angle. To find the measure of an exterior angle, I know that I need to do 360 over n. I need n for that. And this is how we are going to find n with the first piece of given information, where the sum of interior angles is 540. So I'm going to divide by 180 on both sides here. To get 3 equals n minus 2, because again, when you divide by 180, this goes away. You're left with n minus 2. Add 2, so 5 equals n. This is my number of sides, right? So I know, just to get into good habits, I know this is a pentagon, using our geometric vocabulary there. And we're not done yet. It doesn't want, however, it doesn't want the number of sides. It doesn't want us to name the figure. It wants the measure of one exterior angle. So step 1 was to find n using the sum of our interior angles. Step 2 is to use this formula, one exterior angle equals 360 over n. Now we know what n is, so we can rewrite this, one exterior angle equals 360 over 5, and if we put that into our calculator, we will get that one exterior angle equals 72 degrees, and that is our final answer. So make sure you guys are making use of this table. Again, these questions, sometimes they might just be, hey, use this formula and solve for your variable. Sometimes it might be multiple steps. There might be questions that take you 3 or 4 steps to get through, and that's totally okay. Just work with your given information first. You're always going to be able to solve for something with the values that they give you, and then you can move forward from there.